Hi everybody, Stuff and Things here with the first video of a series of videos that I've been thinking about and wanting to make for a long time. It's about how I keep skateboarding at the age of 45 and what I do, not just the skateboarding itself, but what I do before and after skate sessions to make sure that I can keep skating. So this episode is all about after the skate session. There's a misconception out there. I get it sometimes when I talk to people and mention that I skateboard at 45, and they're like, oh, you're too old for that. Isn't that dangerous? You're going to hurt yourself. You kind of get that a lot. And while I'm not going to huck myself down a 15 stair, I can still skate appropriately and still really enjoy it and get tons of benefits from it. And so today I want to go over with you what I do after a skate session. I actually think this is really, really important. If you're in your 40s, maybe even in your 30s, what do you do to take care of yourself at the end of a session and after a session to make sure that your body can keep skating the next day or the day after that so that you can skate into the future? And so I've come up with kind of some things that I do on a regular basis to make sure that my body can keep on skating. And so that's anti-inflammatory, hydration and protein, a hot shower, stretching, continued movement, and listening to your body. So we're going to cover all of those in a little more detail right here. And so number one, after a particularly big session, I will take some ibuprofen right away after the session. This helps me not get sore and stiff and have pain in my joints. And I do it right after the session so that I can get that anti-inflammatory into my body right away. Number two is I make sure that I rehydrate because I sweat a lot. I drink a ton of water after the session. Try to drink water during the session, but I'm not as good at that. So drink a lot of water. And then I also have a snack, something with some protein. I like trail mixes and pistachios and stuff like that to get some energy and especially some protein because your body needs proteins after a big session and workout to rebuild muscle and all that kind of good stuff. And I have to remember to say while I'm giving some advice, I am not a doctor. Please do not take what I'm going to say too seriously. I am not an expert. This is just what I do, what I like to do. I am not a doctor. Consult your physician. Okay, number three. After I've cooled off, I like to take a hot shower and get my muscles warmed up again with the shower because when your muscles are warm, they like to work a lot better. And then when I am warm, I go into number four, which is my stretching routine. And here I'm going to show you my favorite stretches. I've got this video accelerated so it doesn't take too long. I usually take at least 10 minutes or so for stretching. I do knee to chest for the hips, double knee to chest, a modified version of a happy baby pose, and then this one pulling my leg up and back for the hamstrings. Figure fours are really good for the hips. And then we're going to go into some side twists. This is really good for the lower back and hips. I also like stretching a lot because I focus on my breath as well, focus on breathing slowly and long exhales through the mouth. It's really good for just kind of slowing myself down and refocusing. Then a little bit more work on the knees and hamstrings, reaching out toward the extended foot. And then I pull the toes back as well to try to get it kind of into the calf and under the knee. And then a butterfly, which I'm sure you've seen before. And then this one where I lean forward while kneeling on a pillow. This is really good for the hip flexors. My physical therapist gave this to me last year, something I needed to do to get things to release. And then this one for my calves, keeping my heel on the floor while I'm leaning forward. And then I also change it up and bend the knee, try to push the knee forward over the toes of that back foot there. And that's really good for the ankles as well. And here we are with number five, continued movement. Here I am with my wife and my dog going for a walk. I think it's really important after a skate session to just not sit around the house. Go for a walk, do some yoga, do some movement, keep those muscles moving lightly and warm so that they don't stiffen up and lock up. And then while I was collecting clips and kind of thinking about what I wanted to say in this video, I realized that there's a number 6 to it for me, and that's listening to your body. My left knee, my front knee, has been acting up a little bit lately. It's been stiff. There's a little bit of pain in there. And that's exactly what listening to your body means, is if there is something that hurts or something is stiff or just weird, make sure you figure out what's going on there. Don't just keep pushing and pushing and pushing on that same joint or doing that same thing that might create a problem. and that's part of why I haven't made a video in a little while, is I've been taking it much easier. I haven't skated very often, and what I have been doing is very light, usually just manual stuff, avoiding big movements and big pops and things like that so that I can rest my knee, which is feeling already a lot better. So be aware of your body and what you're doing to it. If you ever have any pain in any way, figure out what that is, what's going on, and maybe back off if you need to. And so if you made it to this point of the video, thank you for watching this far. And if you're a little bit older of a skater in your 30s or 40s, what is in your routine, especially after a skate session? What do you do to take care of yourself and make it so that you don't just fall apart and that you can keep skating? So as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.